I'm gonna turn this music down a little bit. I feel like that's a little loud, probably. Or maybe it should be louder. I know that this thing comes in pretty low. I'm taking one last picture out of the frame here before we get started. I'm also gonna kind of wait on people to come in, but I'm taking pictures out of the frame and setting them off to the side for now. Alright, cool. Let me actually adjust some stuff here. Last minute adjusting, that's what we're all about. Let's see if that helps out a little bit. I know there's so much space here. Let's see if that helps out a little bit. I know there's so much space here. That's alright, we're just gonna do that. This is where the water lives now. Oh, and it looks like I am lagging. Yeah, I don't know why, I don't know what's up with the internet. I'm hoping it doesn't lag all night. Alright. Alright, here we are. And I am active in chat. I have it pulled up on my laptop right beside me so I can kind of look over. Let me know if I need to speak a little bit louder. I know that the audio on the iPad is a little wanting. It's in the works. If I can figure out how to do like a full setup one day, that'll be really cool, but I kind of need to get a bigger apartment first. Alright. So off screen, I've started adding a little bit of ink to these, just like with my regular ink pen. I actually have it here, and I can show you guys. It's just a like standard calligraphy pen, and I've been using it to like, it has a cartridge inside of it, but I'm still dipping it into this Black Star Dr. I don't know what the PH stands for, but this Martin dude. It's just India ink. You can get it at Michael's. But yeah, I think it just adds a lot. I think when you put that really nice dark outline up against watercolor, it just, I don't know, it kind of adds to some of like the luminous quality. Because like with watercolor you get a lot of page coming through the paint no matter what. And I don't know, I think just having something so matte and dark really highlights that. But that's enough of that. Let's get started on this dude here. In his pink rash guard set. So I'm just taking Permanent Rose dry, and I'm gonna kind of very lightly put it over the whole thing. I want to darken what's already there. It's especially light here. And I don't want to lose everything that I've done, all of this contour work that I've done with his rash guard, because I actually really like how that turned out, but I think it's just way too pink overall. I guess I should apologize for last week too. I don't know why my time got so just completely screwed up. I guess I felt like everything was an hour ahead of time, and it's not even daylight savings time yet. My guess is it's because I went and I saw Venom right before, and I just got my times crossed. So now I'm actually going to put like at 7 in everything, so that it denotes when everything's actually happening. Like, hopefully I can keep myself from not doing that again. Or from doing that again. Hopefully. But I actually sat around like kind of sad because no one was here, and I was like, where is everybody? And ended it an hour early, and then like as soon as 7 happened, everyone was like texting me like, are you not streaming today? It was sad because I really wanted to talk about the Venom movie too. Just kind of like hear everybody's thoughts on that. But that is okay. I still don't like how this camera looks. I'm gonna bring it this way a little bit. I think I like that better. Sorry if you guys hear me coughing a lot. We just turned on our furnace, and it's just one of those like floor grate kind of old just old furnaces. The apartment I live in is actually like a basement that's sort of been refurnished and everything, so it gets a little dusty when we first turn the furnace on. If you hear me coughing, that's what it is. Those first apartment things, man. I won't complain too much though, because the rent's not a lot, and like it's nice, it's clean. We haven't had any major issues. If you hear, you might actually hear it. It just kicked off. I apologize if that affects the audio quality at all. All right. I think I'm going to let that dry a bit before I attempt to add any purple into it, which I will do here in a bit. But I still feel like this could use a little bit more tonal variation. I don't know, does that look like a shoulder blade to you all? Okay. So I think I'm going to take the round brush, and I actually do like the anatomy on this one. I don't mind it at all. I think I'm going to make, like, just give it another layer of dark, and then I'll be done with it. I might try to do something with the head too. Right now it looks very flat, so I'm going to try and do something so it looks more spherical. Let's see. So I'm taking, not yellow ochre, but the other one. Yeah, I'm taking the raw umber, and I'm going to mix that with the burnt sienna. I believe it's the burnt sienna. I sometimes get a little confused because the earth tones in my watercolor set are different from my oil set for some reason. So I get a little confused in my raws and my burns. I actually cannot find that shade right now. Oh well, that's fine. We're not gonna worry about it. But I'm gonna mix that up, and let's see how that looks when I layer it. It's almost cross-hatching, like it's almost drawing when you use the round brush a lot of the time. I'm going in really dry. Let's see. Just kind of butt that darkest color up against that seam. And then I definitely want to do something with this elbow here. And again, I'm not really using any picture references, so I'm just kind of blindly going in. It's kind of weird. I've been drawing a lot of anatomy just kind of blindly, thanks to Inktober. And it's weird. It's like I don't know if I'm getting better or if I'm getting worse at it. It's not something I do that often. A lot of the time I will pull up stock images, just trying to get an idea of like how limbs will work with certain poses and what have you, but I don't know. I guess I've gotten lazy. What I can tell you is this should be at more of a point. So this is going to take a lot of layering right here because it was curved. I need it to like jet out, and then you'll actually get sort of a point coming out with the elbow. So I'm actually going to have to go back and do something to that because there's some, you can tell where some of this has been erased and gone over. So I'll have to wait for that to dry and actually layer over it again. But thanks to my furnace going, it should dry fairly quickly. We can hope. But I mean, I have 3 more pieces to work on, so it's not the end of the world if it takes a while. I'm just gonna mix some black into that and try to adjust this head a little bit. I got a text message. Yeah, you might hear my phone going off. There's some family stuff going on, so if you see me kind of take a break and text, it's because of that. There's some logistics happening. And I apologize. Real life happens sometimes. See, my issue is I kind of feel like it looks like he's got a bit of a bald spot when I do this. So what I think I'll do is I'll go in with the pen after this is all said and done, and I'll just sort of draw some hair so it's very clear. Hello. Hello, Zypher 1995 Gaming and Cards. Or should I call you Ziffer? Because I know you love that. I know you love it when people call you Ziffer. Alright, why does that look out of focus? Let me see if I can get this daggum thing to focus here. Whoop. I know that if I bring it closer, you can kind of see it a little bit more in focus. I think it's focusing on my hands here. Aha, there it goes. Alright. So next I am going to take my ultramarine, who is my best friend always, ultramarine, and my dioxazine purple. And I'm using this wet and everything else dry to get the background to stick out more against this swimming dude. I guess he's a lifeguard. That's what I had initially intended anyway, was for him to be a lifeguard. And I'm just putting that into my palette. Off screen. I can do that on screen if that's more interesting for everybody. This is my messy palette, which is a converted Estee Lauder eyeshadow palette. I saw that they were selling these on Dick Blick for like $100 and I was like, nope, we're not doing that. We are not doing that. Alright, so I got those in, and I didn't drop the paint this time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start putting those on here really, really wet, and then I'll let that dry, and then I'll come back in and work with the shadows on this dude after that dries. And I'll move on to another painting in the back. And with this, I'm playing it pretty loose. Like, I can kind of get an idea for the existing composition that I used in the background. I just want it to be a lot more saturated. And for that, it needs to be pretty soupy. So we're using a lot of water and pigment. Pretty fair amount. Then I'm using my big flat brush for this too. I guess you can see that. I don't really have to name out the brushes, but I kind of feel like I have to. It's pretty standard for this format, you know? And okay, here's hoping that this is dry enough that I can actually touch this edge without it bleeding. Looks like it is a little bit, but that's not a terrible amount, so that's okay. The trick is you don't want this to seem like it's got a seam. You want it to seem like objects laying on each other. And to do that, I'm going to bring some more of that purple out on this side here. And then after I get this in a way that I like it, I will bring some blue in because I really want those colors to mingle. Like so. I'm not really mixing them. I do want them to be separate bodied. But I definitely want them to touch a little bit. And I might even do a second layer if I feel like it's not building enough. Definitely want to give the painting the time it deserves. I almost feel like maybe this needs more pigment. Ooh, there we go. Let's let that bleed down a little bit. Let's bring it up here. kind of wish my first go around that I wouldn't have put as much black into the background as I did. I definitely think the ultramarine blue does a lot more for the background than just having a matte black. Alright, so there's a lot of purple in the middle there. I'm gonna bring some out down here. This purple is pretty powerful. It goes a long way. Like, look at that. Look at that. Some strong pigment. Alright. I'm gonna try and pop any bubbles that happen. I'm pretty rough with my brushes, so I get a lot of bubbles. I'm not very deliberate with my brush strokes. So yeah, I get a lot of air trapped in the paint just from me lifting and being kind of jittery with my brushes. Alright, definitely, woohoo! Alright, definitely want some of this blue down here to touch. You want to butt that pigment up against those figures. Even bring it down. Alright, so you see there's this really long, like, the pigment is collecting there. I don't really want that, so I'm just gonna dab that so it's not so dark. Alright, back to what I was doing. Alright, I want to push some of this around down here. With watercolor, when you're doing this, you're really just sort of shoving the paint around wherever you want it. It's like you're a bulldozer. Alright, I'm gonna bring some more of that ultramarine blue up through here, I think. And put it there some. I'm trying to be more mindful about keeping the page in screen. Like, I know I've not been super great about that, so I'm just trying to be more mindful of it. It's when I get here I kind of get a little excited, so I kind of quit paying attention to where everything goes. And again, I am active in chat. It's pretty quiet these days, but I love hearing from people as they watch. But I have my laptop right beside me, so I can kind of see comments and look over and respond to everybody. See, I don't want this to be a line. I'm gonna put some purple down here. Yeah, has anybody else seen Venom recently? We went and watched it before last Thursday's disaster of the stream. And you know, I kind of had mixed thoughts about it. Like, I mean, I think it was a lot of fun. I mean, I was entertained, which to me, it's like, if I'm at least entertained, I'm not bored, then the movie is kind of doing its job. So I mean, like, I think the movie kind of did its job as far as that goes. I'm not very familiar with Venom as a character. Like, I didn't get into Spider-Man. Like, I know a lot of kids really get into Spider-Man. I didn't, and I haven't really read the comics, although I think I want to. But my husband Tanner was saying it's like they didn't really treat him true to character. From what I gather, they like chopped the movie up, but like, I don't know. It seemed like it was supposed to be an R-rated movie, and then they like butchered it down so it could be PG-13. Which kind of makes me sad, because I feel like it would have been a really good R-rated movie. Like, I know that they probably want to try and keep those to a minimum. Because, again, like, a lot of their base is younger. A lot of their viewer base is younger. Like, my sister went as Spider-Man and she's 5. But like, she recently went as Spider-Man for Halloween. Actually, she's gone twice in a row as Spider-Man, I believe. I don't know who she's going as this year, though. I have to ask Mom. But like, yeah, so oh, I'm not in screen. So I kind of understand why they maybe wanted to keep it PG-13, because a lot of Spider-Man's base is, you know, younger people. But it would have been so good. I really liked the banter that went on. I thought that was really funny. Although it felt a lot like Parasite, if you ever read the manga, or... I mean, the anime is pretty true to the manga, but I mean, the manga was fantastic in the 80s. It's real weeaboo hours, guys. Alright. Yeah, I think I'm definitely going to need another coat of purple and blue on this, just to really get the depth and color that I want. But it already looks worlds better than it did. I'm gonna put more blue here. I might actually mix some blue in through here also. Whoop, there we go. Just because I think there's like a really strong line of purple. And I don't want too much of any one color. I really want it to blend. Thank you. I don't know who this is. You're so good at arting. Thank you, Nick. Jeb. I don't know how to say your name. I'm so sorry. We're just gonna call you McJ. You're probably someone I know in real life, and this is really funny to you. Thank you. Thank you. I try really hard. Sometimes I don't think I'm as good as I ought to be with all the schooling. But I try. I really try. Trying to make it something that I can eat off of at some point. Pay some rent with. I'm actually going to start painting jackets and selling them at like art fairs along with prints and original watercolors and things. So if you're in the Morgantown area and you frequent festivals, I'm gonna try and apply for some in the future. We'll see how many I can actually get into. Alright. So this is pretty wet. I definitely do want to give it another layer in the background, but I have to wait for that to dry. So I might be able to work on his rash guard now. You're better than me. I don't know that I can, I don't know that I can, okay. The part of me that's being documented says you probably shouldn't do that, but there's a certain part of me that wants to call you a hero. Just keep it out of the kids section, I guess. Who are you? You gotta be someone I know in real life. Just don't do that to any of, like, don't do that to children's books. You know, keep that. Oh Lord. I can totally, oh gosh. Like, I hope you do that to, like, the old classics, like Swiss Family Robinson. No, actually I don't. Those are children's books. Oh, Jesus. No, I can't do that. No, these are going to a show in DC. Alright, I'm gonna take some permanent rose and some of that dioxylene purple. And I'm just gonna kind of push it into some of these folds here. Oh geez, sorry. No, it's okay. No, that's the spooky trees after hours section. Oh gosh. I'm sure someone somewhere would really appreciate that though. I thought it was funny. Who is this? In your work. Thank you. Thank you. This is probably someone playing Magic the Gathering with Tanner, and they're all dying right now. Because I know he's probably watching this. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm trying to figure out which of your buddies this is. This is either like, Marcus or Chris, right? Maybe? Or it could be like Alex or Caleb. I don't really know anybody else. Or yeah, I do. But I'm really bad at names. Good at faces, bad at names. It comes with the territory. Served me well. You got me, it's Alex. That's what I figured. What is your name? Mick Jeb. I actually cannot say it. Or it's not Alex and you guys are dying right now. I don't know, Alex isn't one to use the L word a lot. Mick Jabbo. Oh god, Mick Jabinag. Nope. Sorry, my hick brain can't do it. Like, I can still remember conversational Turkish kind of from a trip that I took forever ago, but I can't make your username work in my head. I'm sorry. Alright, I'm gonna awkwardly give him some definition in the booty crack. It's awkward to do, but it's gonna look even more awkward if I don't give him a little bit of a booty. Nick Jabenaglo? There's a story, but like, is there a story behind that? Is that a... It kind of sounds like, is that a shit stick? No, no. No, he just gotta have a booty. I said it's super awkward. It does kind of look like that. Like, that's way darker than anywhere else. I'll have to darken up so it doesn't look like... Yeah, that can't be the darkest dark, because then it's totally what that looks like. It's actually purple, I promise. If I bring it closer, you can kind of see it's this purple. That's purple. I don't know that there's anything where you will, I don't know if there's anything where you'll poop purple. I mean, maybe there's some really Maybe there's some really discrete disease or like medication. Like I know there's an antibiotic that makes you pee orange sometimes. But I don't think. Just put in the caption. Like in the video or in the painting, just like off to the side on the matting board, like like just a little fart cloud. In the painting. Just yeah, I'll just like go in and just like after it's already hung up in this nice fancy gallery, I'll just like put a sticky note on there. It's just like a really angry little fart cloud. And hope no one notices. Yeah. And then I'm never let into a gallery in Virginia again. That's the story of how Olivia got blacklisted. You're the one who came up with it, dude. Alright, I was correct. Everything is drying pretty quickly because we have the furnace going. So I can actually go in and do another layer in the background. Virginia's overrated anyways. Go to LA. Good lord. If I could afford the price of living in LA. I don't know. I always, like, whenever I think about it, because you kind of have to either go to, like, LA, New York, or Seattle to really make it in the arts. I always feel like those places are all, like, probably really scary. LA sounds nice. Does it? They have really big cockroaches in LA. Because it's humid. Don't they? Like in all those city places, they have really big cockroaches. Could you paint me a Birmingham? Yeah, probably. I don't remember the rest of the lyrics of that song. I'm sorry. Is that the one where it's like, God, how does that song go? I've heard it so many times. Like, I feel like that's a song that people used to sing a lot and, make it look just the way I planned. Yeah, okay. Well, how do you plan it? You gotta plan it for me. Paint me a picture with your words. Paint me that word music. Those speaking paints. Them there speaking paints. Little house on the edge. Oh, jeez. Okay. Oh, okay. Does it have to be a house from Birmingham? Or can it be like just like a white house and then I just like off in the corner in a caption just say this is Birmingham? Just, you know, there is a nude show in Morgantown, like, coming up. I think it's in November. I probably won't have time to enter anything, but if I do, there will be a naked lady in a field with a straw hat, and she'll look very cold. She will be a cold, naked lady. Looking forward to it. Yes. Yeah. It'll have to be next year, sadly. But I do need to enter something into that Nade show. I feel like that's one of the ones that get a lot of press. Like, a lot of people go to the Nade show for obvious reasons. Whoop, that's not in frame. Alright. So my first go at this, I felt like it was a little too much purple, so I'm actually layering some of this ultramarine blue over top of it. Yes, like so. I have to go kind of heavy on this ultramarine blue because, like, a lot of this darkest dark is really gray. And we don't want a lot of gray. We definitely want it to be a little bit more saturated than that. To Piccolosso, that real famous art guy. Nah. Nah, I ain't related to Piccolosso. Related to a lot of gun nuts, though. I don't think I'm related to anybody really famous. Although, if, like, TLC decides to do another... You know how they'll do, like, I don't know, they, like, they just go into rural areas and try to find, like, eccentric people. Like, I feel like if they ever went into my hometown and tried to, like, make a reality TV show out of anybody, they would find someone in my family to make a reality TV show of. Blowing stuff up with the Sizemores. Now let's talk about the government. And how the government is bad. That sort of thing. I'd watch that. Yeah. True story. If you remember when MTV did Buck Wild, that show, they actually, so I was doing an internship with Apple Shop in Whitesburg, Kentucky. And it's just like a small independent film company that tries to, like, it's just like a small independent, like, film thing. And, like, the theory is that if you put cameras in the hands of, like, commonly disparaged groups of people, they can kind of tell their own story in a more truthful light instead of one that's like, you know, really pearl clutchy. So when I was working there doing a documentary as an intern, MTV actually called Apple Shop and asked for referrals because they were like, yeah, we're gonna do this show with rural youth and it's gonna be raw and it's gonna be real, and they hung up on them. And then the following year Buck Wild came out. So they were gonna do Buck Wild in Eastern Kentucky and we hung up on them. It was really funny. And, like, they were telling me about it at lunch. It was a funny, interesting phenomenon. But I think that show was only on for, like, a season. I didn't really watch it. I didn't really watch a lot of, like, any of the MTV reality shows. I like Catfish, though. I think Catfish is kind of funny. Although some of that's probably faked. Howdy. Hey, Steph. It's a party now. Stephanie's here. making making pumpkin masks, right? You got commissioned to do a bunch of pumpkin masks, and they were like, I don't know, they were super impressive. And what you've missed, Steph, is I've been requested to paint a Birmingham today. Yes, BB. I think I will, after this whole thing is said and done, I think I will start to do, like, request sketching. Like, just, like, really quick ink drawings, I'll, like, do requests. I'll take requests and then post them later or something. But I think I'd feel kind of bad because then it would be like, I don't know, maybe I would like find a way to do, like I'll paint, like if you just request one, I'll do it in pencil, and then if you like donate a certain amount or something, I can like ink it or something. I don't know. We're gonna move on to a different painting now. Alright, which one do you guys want me to do next? Pregnant lady in a bathtub or little girl swinging? Ba, 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 ba. Let me know what you want. Dun, dun. We're gonna work on pregnant lady. Because I feel like her belly button doesn't look like a belly button. But, like, that's kind of hard to communicate. You know how, like, when you get real big and pregnant, your belly button sticks out? Not that I've ever been pregnant. So I'm actually gonna pull up a reference image for this. Because it looks like a troll doll, kind of. Or, like, have you seen those pregnant Barbies? Those, like, really vintage pregnant Barbies? I don't even think they were released in the US. But, like, her belly came off, and then there was, like... Anyway. Google it. Google it if you want. It's kind of freaky. Let's see here. Pregnant lady belly button. That looks awesome. Thank you. Did you Google the thing? Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, that's kind of hard to, like... Can you see that? That's kind of hard to... We're gonna try. We're gonna try, friends. What thing? The belly button. Pregnant lady belly buttons. I'm trying to, like, swatch this. Yeah. So, like, getting that belly button to look normal. Anyway. First things first, though, I gotta figure my life out a little bit. She's pretty pale in this. So I'm going to mix brown and burnt sienna. They look the same. Well, thanks. Thanks. It might just be that, like, it's not something that's immediately recognizable. You know what I mean? Like, it's not... I don't know, it's like, it's not really where your mind goes. I mean, maybe it would if you're like a lady who has been pregnant or is pregnant. But it's not like... My art teacher used to say, like, there are certain things that are symbolic, that you can draw symbolically without actually, like, looking at something. A good example would be a heart. Like, symbolically, you think of, like, a heart, you know? Versus, like, if you were to actually sit down and try to, like, draw a heart from a reference. But I think with, like, a pregnancy belly, like, there's not really much of those in the belly button. So it's kind of harder to get away with. But yeah, I want to add some warm hues to her. Because she's looking a little pale. That's not what happens when you're pregnant. You get a nice glow. So I've heard. I want to kind of define her face a little bit because it looks oddly concave. This position is really hard to find a lot of reference images for her. It's really hard to find like directly overhead shots of people. So there's a lot of guesswork involved. But I couldn't really think of any other way to pose people to kind of have this effect going. The paint, there's some fuzz. What? On the belly button. Like, shit. Yeah, I guess I could be super realistic and paint stretch marks on her belly. Like, I know that you'll get, like, some stretching right there, but I think the problem is, like, there's, like, a human would not be able to lay in this position, but meh, it's okay. She would also have, like, boobs, but I didn't. The show that these were in originally was family friendly, so I couldn't really, like, I didn't want to paint boobs on there because I was like, nah. There's kids gonna be here, like little kids. And while I would be able to argue that there's nothing wrong with the nudity and the art and everything, I just didn't want to go there. I didn't want to put myself in that situation. You know. Just go ahead and avoid it. But yeah, so I don't think anybody would ever actually be able to, like, do this with their body in real life. But I wanted her belly to stick out, so we're just... Stretch marks might make it more clear that it's a pregnant belly. Okay. Ha! This is Katie. Hi, Katie. Yeah. I think I might try to paint some stretch marks in there. I just don't know how to go about it. A bottom view. Do you mean, like, if the bathtub was clear? There we go. You can probably hear my dog walking in the background, his little toenails clicking. Yeah, I might go in and just, like, with some pink, kind of give her some stretch marks. That's really dark. Yeah, it looks okay. We're real hands-on here. That'll look like a huge bug. Are you gonna buy this specifically to be your hangover painting? Oh, now I can't unsee it. It does look like an eyeball. I mean, I think, like, bellies are kind of, like, they're not super round. They're more kind of concave like that. So adding some hangover paint. This is the painting I have to look at to remind myself not to get that drunk again. There we go. So it's like more concave on the sides, and then when that's dry I can go in and add another dark shadow. And then we'll work on these here feet. I'm teasing you, it's actually real. Thank you. No, it's okay. Yeah, we're gonna see how these do in the show coming up. I saw 2 of them from this set, so that's pretty nice. And I kind of just wanted to, like, retire them after this, but the guy I work with was like, no, you should do those one paintings. He's like, you should work on them more. Hold on, my music shut off. Let's see here. Yeah, my YouTube does that thing ever so often that Netflix will do where it's like, are you still watching? So every now and again I have to go and turn it back on. Alright, I'm just kind of adding some darks in here. If you see me or you hear me kind of get a little quiet, it's because feet are hard. Feet are very difficult. Feet and hands. And they kind of teach you how to manage it in college, but it never gets easier. You just kind of learn some little cheats to deal with it. Like so. Just add some darks and some lights and hope for the best. I feel like I talk about how difficult hands and feet are at least once or twice every stream. Probably closer to twice. Okay. Boop. Right. It's going a little bit wetter. I was being pretty dry with my paints before. What colors do you? Well, I don't know. I mean, how natural are we talking? Depending on how big it is, I would say don't, like, depending on how big it is, I would almost say don't bother trying to mix a bunch of paint. Like, I would say just use a bunch of paint out the bottle. I'll try. You're probably better off using flesh tones and then, just using flesh tones straight out the bottle, and then, because if it's really big, right, it's going to be viewed from far away, you can just put those colors next to each other in kind of squares, and then when you step away from it, it'll look like one color. That's a technique a lot of people use for really large paintings, so you get color variation in light and shading. I would say use a lot of purple, actually. Okay. Yeah, I'd say so. That's not a comfortable position. Okay. We're gonna work on this little rubber ducky. I wanted to look a lot more plasticine. Rubber ducky. Okay, cool. So instead of using black to show some shading there, I'm gonna use orange, just like cadmium orange, to put some shadows in. Oh man. Let's mix some yellow in there. Yeah, I think it looks a lot brighter. It's gonna be kind of a pain to bring some background in around that though. Steph, what did you use to make your masks? Those are really cool. Were those just foam, or like those look like they were movie quality masks? Like, I was mucho impressed. Alright, let's work on this washcloth here. Wire foam duct tape for the base. Dang. See, I don't think I'd even really know where to begin approaching something like that. It's super cool. Roofing sealant, dang. It was super cool. I feel like Sarah did most of the work. I gotcha. Yeah, those were like prop quality. You could almost sell, you could almost get into like prop making for cosplay. Like, they were that good. Sarah does a lot of cosplay though. Like, she's hung out with Jessica Negri and stuff, hasn't she? I have to do. I think there was a dude who actually painted a black dot, or a square anyway. If you give it a fancy title, people could fall for it, and then they would never know that it was female anatomy. And you could just silently laugh. Oh. I never watched Lost, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I could see Sarah having a lot of experience with stuff. Yeah, my mom liked Lost. I never got into it though. I was an edgy child, so I really liked what was it? Criminal Minds. I watched a bunch of Criminal Minds growing up because I was edgy. And had just discovered Silence of the Lambs. Thanks to the help of my mother also. You should watch it. Gosh, I'm like 20 years late. Plus, I know the ending sucked. Like, I know the ending didn't answer any questions. Because I've heard my mom complain about it, so... I'm actually working my way through X-Files from the beginning, and it's really, really good. I'm over 20 years late for that, I think. Because, I was watching one of the episodes and he's like, Mulder's going, like, dating the case file. Lambs are actually... I know, that's the point. They never quit screaming. Have you never seen Silence of the Lambs? Because that's actually the point. Have you ever, like... Because you need to stop everything and go watch it. I think it's on Amazon Prime. It's super good. But yeah, so I'm like super late to the X-Files party, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm not even into that. How could you not be into farming? I do kind of wish I would have taken an ag class in college. Just because I want to get chickens someday. Like, I want to have chickens when I get older and have a plot of land in my dream when I see myself as a fabulous old lady. Chickens and a goat. One singular goat, so I don't have to mow my own lawn. And his name will be Goatee. And I'll also have a nice big garden. I mean, that's probably not gonna happen, but a girl can dream. Like, I am one time on a farm. A moose. What kind of farm were you on that it had a moose? I know that when you worked on the farm, that's actually one of the things they showed you how to do, was to, you had to castrate pigs. That was like one of the first things you had to do. Because I remember a bunch of my classmates telling me about their experience castrating pigs. No. It's also not, technically. I don't have any, moose farm. I guess there are moose farms, but I didn't think they had any in this area. I don't have any pre-existing medical issues that would allow me to. And even if I did, I don't know that I would. Like, I get kind of super paranoid, so. Because I watched Silence of the Lambs at the ripe old age of 12. And Criminal Minds at much younger. I think I had actually watched my first Stephen King movie at 11. Which is probably about right, I'd say. Although I think my first horror movie was The Sixth Sense. Mom took me to see that when I was like 3 and made me hide my eyes for the whole movie. Like, I actually watched it in the theater, and I have no idea why she took me to see that movie at 3. I barely even remember it. I like to tease her about it all the time. She says it's not one of her finer child-rearing moments. But I would argue that it was. It's part of the reason I'm such a horror junkie now. As Tanner can tell you. Because he has to live with it. Oh gosh. Is that a trick question? You started older than most, I'd say. I don't know. I think that whole experience is a little different now with the internet. You'll stumble upon it before you intentionally seek it out, you know what I mean? Like, eventually someone's gonna get a virus and someone's not, and then, like, you're just not allowed to use the computer anymore. Hi, Max. What are you doing? I think one of the more entertaining things about this stream for me is when my dog gets bored and decides to walk around and you just see, like, the corner of his tail in screen. Because he gets mad that I'm not paying attention to him when I do art stuff. And he's smart enough to get jealous too. Like, if I'm watching TV and I'm not petting him, he will actually like go and knock the controller over because he knows it makes the video stop. My dog is a cat. This is what I'm saying. Okay, I'm gonna let that dry for now. We're gonna go back to the first painting I was working on. Because I want to work on this boogie board a little bit. And I am mixing cadmium red and a little bit of green. Because I want there to be a shadow where his body is right now. I have to use a lot of red though because I don't want it to be completely grayed out. Okay. Put a little bit right there. This shouldn't take too long. It's just a little thin sliver where his body is. Let's use a little bit more red. Kind of put that. The problem is I got so thick with some of this paint that whenever I get it wet, it actually wants to remove itself. And you kind of get like a little spot where you can tell it's been erased. This will go back in with an ink pen and kind of define a little bit more too, so I'm not super worried about it. I want to give it edges though. Just like that. Nothing super thick. I'm pretty thin. Cool. Alright. We're good. Alright, now I gotta fix this bad boy right here. And then he should be good for the pin after that dries. I would love to get these actually finished tonight, because after that I can start painting on jackets. I'm really fixated on doing jackets right now for some odd reason. But I can also finish up. That sunflower painting has been sitting there for over a year now. I really want to finish that sunflower painting too. If anybody here was around for that stream. I've also got some commissions coming up that I can work on. This season is really good for commissions because people are always thinking about gifting paintings and stuff for Christmas. Cool. Alright. I'd say that arm's in a good place. Let that bad boy dry. Continue drying. Let's come back. This is pretty dry now, so we can start adding those purples in. Alright. Here we go. Start blocking where I want those to go. Let's put some purple here. Of course, you guys have seen this. I just sort of pick out where I want this purple to go. Other things I have in the works besides what's going to happen with the live streams next is I finally figured out an easier way to get those videos from my iPad onto the laptop to upload and edit easier. So the first couple of Inktober's will come up. I didn't do one for every drawing that I did just because like that just got to be way too much. I would have to start, if I decided to try to do that again next year, like I'm gonna have to start in August almost. Like almost as soon as the prompt goes up. But I'm honestly pretty fatigued right now. Like I've got 2 weeks left and it's getting to be a bit of a chore at this point. I was super excited, but I'm getting pretty tired now. So I'm gonna try to finish it, but as things kind of rack up more with this show coming up in November, I don't know that I'm going to be able to be as consistent with it, sadly. What camera are you using now? I'm using the iPad, which is why the audio, or the, it's why the audio is really bad. Just because the iPad microphone is really soft, like, it's really hard to enhance it. So, but it's a lot easier to set the iPad down on a flat surface and be able to film completely flat. If I was going to use my camera, I would have to figure out a whole new setup. I saw where like a lot of people were taking boxes, like old loot crates, and cutting a hole in them and like tacking them to a wall. But hey, it does work. It does work. And now that I'm making videos, I can actually enhance the audio. Like I figured out how to do that. Like I realized that was a problem that I needed to fix. I might even go in and re-upload some of my previous uploads, just because the audio is a little bit lacking. But I wish there was a way I could kind of figure out how to adjust it for this. Like I have royalty-free music and stuff in the background, and I don't even know if it picks up. I wanted a live stream. Yeah, definitely suggest investing in an iPad. If you can get, like, if you can just kind of get one of the older models secondhand, maybe, it would be definitely a worth it investment. But if you have a laptop, like, I know that Twitch has a, has like a separate channel, or I don't really know the terminology with Twitch, but like I know they have a whole separate thing for art. And whenever I figure out how to live stream my like my digital art stuff, because I think there's a way to do that just using a USB. I just haven't figured it out yet. Once I figure that out, I'm gonna use Twitch, I think, because I can split the screen on that. And then you guys can see me in all my Cheeto dust glory when I'm working on my comic. The comic will definitely be continuing after November, too. If anybody here actually reads it. If not, you can go on Tapas or Webtoons. It is Dark Holler, and it's pretty good. So I've been told. I mean, I don't know. A lot of people seem to like it. But, yeah, I just, it's coming. It's coming if you read it. It's still happening. I just gotta figure out a way to actually work on the, comic in a way that it doesn't give away spoilers or there's some sort of incentive. I'd love to watch you stream though, Steph. Like, we could have a little artist community going on. Oh. If you're thinking about streaming art or video games. I've toyed with gaming. I've streamed. I have strummed me playing video games before, but it was in my dorm and it was just like flash point and click games, and the stuff was really, yeah, it was just like gosh, I used to play a lot of those point and click games because I wasn't really allowed to have a gaming system, as you'll remember, Steph. I didn't really have a gaming system in my place except for a really old Xbox One for a little while, and so I played a lot of horror point and click games like Ex Mortis, if anybody remembers those. I played a lot of Ex Mortis, but I was just using my laptop and it didn't have the RAM. It just didn't have any of the capabilities to really get stuff to go through. But I mostly play PlayStation games now, and I don't really know if there's any way to, like, stream me playing. I mean, maybe there is, I don't know. I could point, like, a camera at the actual... There probably is, and I'm just dumb. But it would be really fun to, like, stream me playing Resident Evil 2 when that comes out in January. Because January is miserable. No one wants to do anything in January. It might come out in February. Either way, same thing. I could also stream Let's Go when that comes out in November. Once the November show is over, because we've got that. We can figure out what's up with this Meltan boy. It's interesting, like, we went in and just finalized our pre-order for that, and it's kind of funny because, like, when it first dropped, I remember, like, no one was excited for it. Like, everyone thought it was going to be garbage. And then apparently as soon as Meltan dropped, like, people just, I mean, they just went off the rails, I guess, because they don't know if, I guess the competitive players really try to jump on that. If there's ever anything that's just been announced and there's only one way you can get it. So like, because they don't know if it's going to be completely broken for competition. So apparently they've run out of pre-orders in a lot of places already. They told us we were even lucky to have one. Because they were sold out of pre-orders as soon as Meltan got announced. But we are pretty heavy Pokemon players. Like, I have a lot of collectibles and stuff, so pretty much anything like that that gets announced, we get it. That's my birthday present for this year. And it's a really good thing to get into collecting because the value never goes down, really. It kind of makes me sad because for my birthday one year I got this Pikachu camera that I was never allowed to use because we never got film for it. But it came with like this little, I don't know, it came with like this little Playland set thing. So like you could make scenes, and it had like a Diglett and like little figurines that you could move around. It came out as a promotional for Pokemon Snap, and I don't know what happened to it, but if I had it now, it's like worth $500. And that makes me so sad to think about now, because like, I don't know, that $500 would be pretty good. And the thing is, it's not like other collectibles, like people will absolutely purchase it. I look at collectibles a lot of the times on Poshmark too. But anyway, enough about me being a dork. I'm just adding blue. I feel like at this point I don't really have to talk through I feel like I don't really have to talk through, like, how I approach doing this. It's pretty much the same thing every time. It's just adding ultramarine blue and layering that in with some purple and just pushing it around till I like the way it looks. Nothing fancy. I think I actually want there to be some blue in here just because I feel like there always ends up being more purple than blue. And that purple is pretty powerful. You kind of gotta rein it in a little bit. But yeah, Steph, if you ever started live streaming, I would for sure watch that. I would watch the hell out of that. And I'd watch you stream Overwatch too. I'm not much for watching gaming streams, but like I would watch you stream Overwatch. I just have a hard time keeping up with first person shooters. Like I have a hard time telling what's actually going on whenever I'm watching other people. Like my husband watches a lot of people stream League and stuff, and I have a hard, like I can never tell what's actually happening. It's probably why I don't play a lot of first person shooters, and I don't know. Storyline games that I'm good with. I say as I'm about to talk about Resident Evil. I mean like the multiplayer, whatever they're called. They're not MMORPGs. I used to play a lot of those, but, you know, the same thing. Meh. Yeah. Yeah, like I'll sit down and watch the like I'll watch my brother-in-law. He streams Smite a lot, and then I'll I'll watch the competition stuff just because it's on a lot of the time, and that's what a lot of my friends like to watch. But I'm never really engaged. Like, I can just never tell what's going on. The chats make me... Yeah, they usually go so quick I can't really tell what's going on. I used to watch those, who was it? Was it Brittany Venti, that professional troll who everybody thought was actually... like they didn't think she was faking. I would watch those just because it's funny to watch her. It's so obvious she's putting it on a character, but then like people think they're trolling her. Yeah, people can be pretty nasty though. I feel the same way when Tanner plays Overwatch with the chat. Not even like the chat logs, but like the voice chat on. It's always like 12-year-olds just like cussing, and I'm like, it's like, it's 8 o'clock on a school day. What are you even doing awake? Over League of Civil Sons. Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah, it's not as bad since Tanner got into Diamond, but they're terrible. And they always mispronounce Tanner's username, so it's really funny. He gets super mad. I kind of want to get an Xbox just so we can just so I can play with friends. Because I know that's what you and Sarah uses, Xbox. But alas, we have the station. I've thought about that a bunch though. I really only ever play bot games, but I don't know. I just feel like I have a lot of friends in Kentucky that I never get to play with or interact with. This is why the stream is good though, because that's pretty much all it is friendos. Yes! Yeah, I need to meet your boyfriend. Yeah, how are you guys doing? We talked about it a little bit at Christmas, but I didn't really hear anything else. He seemed super nice. Alright, that's that. Alright, let's move on. Yeah, whenever I see you and your friends hanging out on like Instagram and stuff, it always looks so fun. So I actually kind of like her hair the way it is. I don't want to mess with her hair too much. But I will adjust this little swim dress here. But I think it would be really fun to live stream Resident Evil 2 when that finally comes out. Just because it's fun watching people get scared. That one would not, like, I would have to make that not family friendly though. Because I know I'm gonna cuss a lot, I know there's gonna be blood. But I think it's super fun to watch people get scared. And I kind of wish there was a way I could have done it when 7 came out, because 7 was fantastic. 7 was game of the year, in my opinion. Like, I mean, Mario was great. Mario Odyssey was a lot of fun. I mean, we got Mario Odyssey and had a blast with it. But as a certified horror nerd, I really liked Resident Evil 7. And it's a lot harder to revive a dead series, because in my opinion, actually, like, all of horror video games at that point were pretty dead. And Resident Evil was double dead. Now if we could just revive Silent Hill. Somehow. It'll probably be a cold day before that actually happens, though. Alright. I'm gonna adjust her skin a little bit. I don't want to do too much to it, though. Maybe I should start mixing on screen. Like so. Yeah. Woohoo! I'm just gonna define these legs a little bit. I'm not gonna fuss too much over it. I think I will probably go over this once it's done, just to make this a little bit darker. I think I also might skip this song. I don't really like having a lot of lyrics in my stream. I don't know why. I sometimes wonder if it's a little overbearing. Oh! We're gonna skip this. Boom. Alright, cool. think I definitely want to adjust these hands. Hey girl. Hey, Tanner. What's up? Are you the most magical wizard in all the land tonight? Like, on my way. Oh! Well, don't text and drive. But I can try to be entertaining while you come through. Steph says hey if your eye's off. If you're talking through Siri, Stephanie says hey. Did you beat the butts? Not my knee. Okay. Yeah, you're definitely talking on Siri. Because that didn't make any sense. I'm gonna eat. Good. How's your knee doing? Yeah, in the Tanner lore, he is currently having some knee issues. He tore his meniscus years and years ago, and they're saying that he's gonna have to remove scar tissue. Probably, like, we're not sure. He goes and gets examined on Tuesday, but chances are he's gonna have to have surgery. Insurance should pay for it and everything, but yeah. Yes, I am sorry, Tanner. I have to hide that message, but yes. Yes, Siri sure is. So, which friend of yours was actually watching the stream that was talking? Because I don't think that was Alex. Was it like Mitch, Chris, Marcus? That's what I figured. I thought it was Marcus. I was like, you're being way too favorable to be Alex. That boy's got too much Scorpio in him. Little does Marcus know I will actually paint him a Birmingham. I have to keep on myself because when given an opportunity to overuse the angled brush, you know what I will do? I will absolutely overuse the angled brush. Boom. Alright, cool. Okay. Do I believe that this is dry enough that I can begin to attempt the background? I do. How are you? I am fine. I am good. I'm a little tired. I haven't heard from Ben, so I don't know if, like, I don't know what's going on with Middleburg right now. I'm kind of afraid to go because there's probably gonna be a funeral here soon. And, like, I haven't heard the date for the funeral yet, so I really don't want to be there and then find out that the funeral is on Sunday or something. But this will also be the second Middleburg that I have skipped out on, and that makes me feel really bad. Especially since they got me gallery space for things. But I haven't heard from him tonight, so I don't know. But yeah, that's all that's going on. There's been a lot going on between your knee stuff and just all of that. It's been an eventful week. I kind of think I should try to, like, make Aunt Helen that really fast hummingbird picture also. And a sheer lack of me. I don't know what that means. A sheer lack of what, you say? Of you? Babe, I have to catch up on work, so if you need to go, go. Well, yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel really bad for Aunt Helen, though. Like, I know you gotta catch up on work, but that's not really gonna change. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. I think I'm to a point where I can start adding blue into this painting now. These last ones kind of need less work. Like, I feel like these last ones are better off than the first ones. So we might actually get to pin stuff tonight, which would be really cool. I might do it off screen though, I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Whew. Yeah, you can tell it's getting close to 9 o'clock. I definitely start losing steam, like I am quite the old lady. But I'm going to try and final push these out. So I would just love to have these like done and out of the way. That would be pretty fantastic. And then I could kind of move on and work on a couple commissions and just whatever I felt like. Cool. Need more ultramarine blue. It's definitely the pigment I go through the most is ultramarine blue. squirt some more in there. I think with a lot of people it's titanium white, but man, I just eat through that ultramarine. Okay. Just doing more of the same. You know, ultramarine blue and purple. And then after this, I think I will be able to get to pen on at least one of these. So that's going to be pretty exciting. I really enjoy putting pen on these. I should probably be using a smaller brush on these sections right here, but I am this amazing little thing called very lazy. So we're just going to use the big brush. I just talked about how I have this habit of overusing the angled brush. And in one of the situations where it would actually be appropriate to use the angled brush, I'm using the flat. You know. Okay. Alright, let's stick some more ultramarine in here. Max. My dog has joined the party, everybody. He's mad because I'm sitting on his bed. Like, I'm not using a pillow to sit on the ground, I'm using his bed, and he's really salty about that, I think. Because he can't come lay in my bed. Lay in his bed. I'm kind of hoping one of these days he'll just come over and plop himself in my lap while I'm painting. bring some of that blue over into this corner. Alright, cool. I'm gonna wait for that to dry. Okay. I'd say this is probably good enough to start. Like, it's still a little wet right here, but I'm gonna start inking this bad boy. If I can get my India ink open. That's spilling it everywhere. The one thing I don't like about India ink is how flaky it is when you take it out of the tube. It is a flaky, flaky pigment. Okay. So I'm gonna start. There's like the little rope that connects the boogie board to the wrist. I'm gonna define that. See, it just stands out so nicely against the watercolor. And it absorbs really well. Now, I'm not outlining everything. I'm being pretty sparse with it because I don't want it to be very flattening. But just where I think it needs a little extra something. Just give it a little line. I'm being very light. I just think it does a lot for the definition for sure. Now this part I gotta be very easy with, because this is where all the shirt wrinkles are. So I gotta try and be a little bit more precise here, because that's super easy to throw off. Oh, we got a friend request on we got a friend request on the PlayStation by someone named Firehawk. I wonder who Firehawk is. Okay, cool. There we go. See what I mean? I just think it gives it a lot to stand out against. Don't want there to be too much ink on my pen for this. Okay. I am gonna sneak some into the body because I don't want it to just be on the outlines. Okay. I'm trying to vary my line too. I don't want to overline it. I'm worried that maybe I'm getting there a little bit. Okay, and this other arm. Okay. Cool. Get this other arm here. So is it on Audible? Is what on Audible? Is it on audio? What do you mean? Audible does have a lot of books. Yeah, sorry I'm kind of getting a little quiet. This part kind of takes a lot of focus just because I want to make sure I don't want to have to spell it out, you know what I mean, with the lines. I don't want it to overshadow everything that I've done with the watercolor. I have to make sure it's enhancing. Whose turn is it? Whose turn for what? I am the confused. I'd say this lady needs another coat of purple and blue in her universe. So we'll do some extra of that. Or Audible. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I haven't gotten an audiobook in a while. I'd say we have a couple credits. Like, we could probably just look at how many credits we have, because it's been a couple months since either of us have used a book or have gotten a book. So I'd say we could just do math, because I know you were the last one to buy a book. So we could look at how many credits we have and then figure it out from there. I'm not super stingy. But I mean, if you're interested in getting a book, go ahead and get a book. Like it's your Audible just as much as it is mine, you know? Like, I don't even know what I'll buy next. I've thought about trying to finish out the vampire series, like the whole Anne Rice series. I've already listened to Interview. I'm not sure what order they're supposed to come in, though. Interview was fantastic, though. I mean, if you like the movie, the book is way better. They're both good. But, if you liked the universe set up in the movie, you'll really appreciate the world building in the book, because there's a lot more of it. I was able to find it on YouTube when I was working on my senior stuff. Okay, cool. Work on this chick's body a little bit. Darken her up. I'm gonna send a text. Sent text. We're good. Just like constantly doing business, guys. But yeah, definitely wanted to darken her up a little bit. I thought her knees were looking a little light. And let me put her beside the other two paintings and see if I think her background needs darkened. Yeah, I'd say she could use another layer of purple at least. Oh, let me stretch here before I get more into that. Oh, I can tell I'm getting older. Okay. Let me get this bad boy going. And then after this layer, she should be good for the mark. Yeah, these are going to take a little while to dry, I think, before I can really go at them with the pen. But the pen doesn't take too long. So this time next week, I'll have to figure out something new to stream. Actually, it'll probably still be watercolors. I have a bunch of commissions. I might also try to catch up on some Inktober stuff if I'm still able to make myself do it. I'm getting pretty tired of the ink drawings. Ready to do some other stuff. Okay, let's put some more ultramarine on there. I keep waiting for Tanner to walk in and for Max to go crazy. I'd say he'll get here around 10 if I know Tanner. Max heard his name and he heard his dad's name and now he's at attention. He's literally just staring at the door just because I said his name. Oh! Oh! I do actually believe I spoke of the devil and he has appeared. Because Max can hear the car when it pulls up. And then Tanner went off. So I think he's probably here. Tanner's using crutches, so he can't, like, he doesn't recognize Tanner's feet patterns anymore. Calm down, buddy. I'm sorry, he's probably super loud. Ooh, it's chilly outside.
It's a little nipply.
A little nibbly. How are you? I'm good. I'm just gonna finish this bad boy up. Yeah.
Oh, the poor computer.
Max! Max just trampled all over the laptop.
Max, has your mom not fed you?
Please, I fed him.
Are you waiting away?
Steph says hey again. Stephanie says hey. She can probably hear you. Are you okay? How's your knee?
Yeah. The cold is particularly hard on it.
Yeah.
It's cold outside.
Yeah.
And then you get warmed up.
I understand.
How much longer you got on the stream?
Just until I finish this.
Cool.
And then, I'll take Max OUTSID.
What?
Do not rile him up. Do not rile him up. I have a lot of spillables right now.
He
So,
does seem very wily.
yeah, he's quite wily. Did you have a bunch of the dudes watching my stream? Because, like, there were, like, 7 people on, and then they all got off at the same time.
No. So
No?
no one at Magic was watching your stream.
Except for Marcus.
Well, Marcus was watching on mine.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
How
so
was he chatting, though?
Everybody else was
How was he chatting, though?
I don't know. From what I understand, he was just on with me.
Oh. Really?
Yeah.
Wait, so he wasn't doing the chatting then?
So what time was... So Eli was on.
It wasn't Eli. Eli's Leaf Warrior.
Right.
I don't know who, It said it was Alex, but I don't think it was Alex. Max! Get off! No! No! He just walked all over my paintings. Max, honey! Honey!
Stop trying to go for me. Come on, buddy.
I don't think it was Alex, because he was like, I love you and your art.
Mick Jim Bangles.
Yes, who is that?
I don't know. I thought you knew him.
I don't know who that is.
So it wasn't Alex.
I know it
You're
wasn't
so
Alex.
Good at arting.
It sounds like a Berea person.
You're better than me. I usually just draw genitalia in books.
Yeah. I thought for sure that was somebody.
Oh, draw a condom hanging out of his butt and say it. Oh,
Yeah.
I love you and your worth.
Yeah, I have no idea who it was. I don't even think they're subscribed to me, so it's fascinating.
Is that a shit stain you're putting in there? Wow.
Yeah, I have no idea who that was. He was gross. Yeah. I thought it was one of Tanner's friends, but I don't think it is.
No, I don't know who it is.
Yeah, I thought it was Marcus. I don't know. I just kind of laughed about it.
Don't worry. His about is he sometimes plays with his bum.
It must be someone's troll account, and I just wasn't a good troll. Because I don't get angry.
Alright, well, I'm gonna make you something to eat.
Okay.
See Macus.
He love. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who that was. I don't even think they subscribed to me. Yeah, they just, I don't know. I thought like maybe it was Nathan for a little bit, but that's not really Nathan's sense of humor.
Yeah, it wasn't Alex Simpson. Alex was super late. He didn't get there till 7:45.
Dang.
That's what took me so long.
Yeah, it's okay. Alright, cool. That's a lot of purple. That's a lot of purple in this bad boy.
But you know Macus is Max.
Yeah, I kind of felt bad because I try to be really family friendly in the stream. I also don't know...
Yeah, I think he was just a troll.
Really?
Yeah. I apologize for any language. I was just reading off this post.
That's fine. I mean, it was in the chat, but my chat's supposed to, like, get any curse words and stuff. And this one didn't. I know it's not Will, because I know Will's account, and Will doesn't joke like that.
No, that was somebody who thought you were the bee's knees, since your husband no longer has knees.
What?
He thinks you're the bee's knees because your husband no longer has knees.
So does somebody who knows you.
I don't know.
That's weird.
And it's weird.
They wouldn't tell me who it was. I'm not worried about it.
Do you know who is?
Who? Are you worried about it?
Nobody's raising his ball.
Oh, Mac is worried. I'm not a great troll target, like... LOL. Yeah, the joke is Tanner no longer has knee. Tanner doesn't have any knees anymore. They just don't exist. Alright. Cool. Ugh! Whew. This one turned into a rough one. Oh, I'm getting so old. I gotta get a more professional setup. Yeah, my knees are gonna go bad next from sitting. No. Alright, I think I'm gonna call it a night. Thanks for hanging out, Steph. Sorry about last week. I love you, fam. Try to figure out streaming. We can totally make a thing. Bye.
Bye, Steph.
Bye. Max says bye.